Up there, probably right now, someone is proposing. Blackhall Court Mansions, built as a very exclusive Victorian tenement block in the 19th century, where Churchill met Roosevelt during the war. It had all his war cabinet stuff in there. Over there on your right, Royal Festival Hall, the last building standing from the Festival of Britain, which was held in 1951, and actually older than London itself, some 3,500 years old, given to the UK by a grateful Egyptian government after Nelson defeated Napoleon at the Battle of the Nile. Winston Churchill amongst them. He went to school over there, Asquith. Winston Churchill only lasted a couple of terms. He was expelled from there for bullying and fighting, believe it or not. All this area around here is called Blackfriars. And it's called Blackfriars after the monks who used to walk around in their black robes. They took the top off because it wasn't strong enough for the modern trains of today and replaced it with this one, this railway bridge we're going under now. St Paul's Cathedral, built by Christopher Wren, and it was completed in 1677, built to replace the one that was burned down in the Great Fire. St Paul's itself, I think it's 365 feet high to the top of the cross. A lovely place to go and have a walk around if you've got the time. You can climb the 520 odd stairs right to the top there, and there's something called the Golden Galleries right at the very top. See? This one is the most visited modern art gallery in the world, they tell me, and that's the original Globe Theatre that stood there about 400 years ago. Just a bit further down the river, the narrowest and one of the prettiest little bridges there since 1615. And if you're lucky enough to go and get a drink in there, it's a lovely place to go and do so. You can walk around and see some of the history in there, and in those top windows up there is where Shakespeare and his actors would get changed and learn their lines before going on stage. If you've ever heard of the Borough Market, that's all behind those buildings there. If you're into your food, interested in your food, go to the Borough Market. You'll see all sorts of stuff from all over the world. Great place to go and have a walk around. Building there, you can't miss, that's the Shard, or the Shard of Glass, tallest building in Western Europe, built by a guy called Renzo Piano, built with 11,000 panes of glass. Somewhere up there on the 75th floor is what they call the view from the Shard, and if you want to queue up for ages and spend £30 a head, you can go up and enjoy the views. But if you want to save some money, then a little known fact is that building there, what they call the walkie-talkie, which is number 20 Fenchurch Street, one with a white crane on top. Up where you see those people right at the top, that's something called the Sky Garden. And it's absolutely free to go up the Sky Garden. It's lovely up there. Hop in up there, there's a pub and a restaurant. You don't have to use it, but it's a great place to spend a couple of hours. This is HMS Belfast on the right here. That round building there, over there on your right, that's what they call City Hall. Again, built by Norman Foster in the same style as he built the town hall in Berlin, the Reichstag. Opened in 1894, so not as old as it looks. Built in that Gothic style to match its neighbour, the Tower of London, over there. It's part suspension and part bascule, the only bridge of its type anywhere in the world. The things that open in the middle, they're called the bascules, and each of those weighs 1,000 tonnes. Built by William the Conqueror in 1078. You're on the boat there.
Shortly after the Second World War, though, due to other means of transportation. It's like a few famous people have lived in that building throughout the years. The likes of the singer and actress Cher, she used to live in a penthouse there. She's moved now though, and they've made its way around the coast of the UK, picked up the Pilgrim Walk boats, made its had the Black Death. In the West India docks, ships mainly from the Canary Islands, they used to trade there, dealing with things like exotic fruits and stuff. You got the buildings just ahead of us there with the domes on top, the old Royal Naval Colleges, now home to Greenwich University. But that's actually where Lord Nelson was brought back to after he died during the Battle of Trafalgar, which is pretty unique really, because back then if you died at sea, well, you just buried at sea, thrown overboard and left America.